So I have a strong opinion on Tesla.
All of them?
All of their cars. So the Model S, the Model 3, any
Why
car
are
they
they
come
dumb?
out with. I can't really give a valid reason. It's just my own opinion, but we'll get in. I guess we can get into that another time. So welcome back to the Perry Experience. I'm Matt and this is Erica, and we have a good show for you guys today. We're just going to really dive right into it, but make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. So I guess that we're just going to go ahead and start with what I have. I wanted to start on a high note. So are you familiar with this whole Team Trees thing that's
Yeah,
going
because
on?
you don't shut up about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a great cause. So Mr. Beast and a lot of other YouTubers are doing this thing where they wanted to create or plant 20 million trees. And by planting 20 million trees, the best way they could do that is they partnered with a foundation to where each dollar that they raise will plant a tree somewhere on the
But
world.
like, what's the point of this besides planting trees? Like, why did he was like, oh, I'm just gonna plant 20 million trees?
Well, it's to save the earth.
I know, but like,
mean,
I just want to know where it came from. Like,
Well-
did somebody like say something to him, or like, did he just come up with it on his own?
I mean, I don't know that, but I would imagine that, he had a conversation with a couple of YouTubers or a couple of his friends and just said, you know what, I want to give to a foundation, and saving the world is the best way you can do it.
There's a thing right there that says, please save us, Mr. Beast. Petition for Mr. Beast to plant 20 million trees for 20 million subscribers. See, that's what the answer I was looking for.
Well, see, he said that it's not based on him. So a lot of people are saying that it's based on his own channel, his own, growth and all that stuff. It's not. It's actually.
That's what it says.
Well, that's what other people's opinions are. So I brought this article up just to show you what people are saying, but he's trying to say the opposite and say that, a lot of other YouTubers, a lot of other people are involved in this and making it grow so much. It's not just him.
Well, I understand that, but I wanted to know the origination, and it was from his fans.
Yes, he started it, but they had other people that were planning on making videos as well. So he's the one that had the initial video to plant 20 million trees, but it wasn't just his idea. It was everybody's idea. But yes, his fans ran with it, and then obviously brought in other people's fans, and other people were able to grow as well on YouTube. So it was kind of like a double benefit, if that's what you want to.
A win-win situation?
No, I don't want to say that because that's trademarked.
What? By who?
By Geico, I think.
Boy, I don't think so.
No, but seriously, he did this basically just to say, like, he wants to save the planet, give to a foundation, just like I give to No Kid Hungry as much as I can, because of the fact that, obviously I had my issues in the past. So I don't want any kid to go hungry, but he's doing the same thing with trees, trying to save the planet. And that's a good thing. I totally praise him and all of the people involved. So I wanted to basically call this out that, they raised $21 million to plant 21 trees, $21.5 million to plant 21.5 million trees, because that 0.5 really, it does matter. That's 500,000 trees.
It costs $1 to plant a tree?
I guess so. I don't really know the true cost behind it, but if they say so, they say so. They say it only costs $1 to plant a tree, so they're doing it that way. And if they could plant 20 million trees, that's great. But I did bring up the point that people during Christmas are cutting down trees.
Yeah, but those are trees that are planted specifically to be cut down.
Yeah, but if they were planted to just stay there, they would still create the oxygen that they were creating. So we're cutting down, or we're planting 20 million trees to cut down 40 million trees. That's a lot. But, I don't know, maybe these
still
trees
makes a difference,
yeah.
Because if those trees weren't planted at all, then there would be even less.
Well, yeah, and this is going to make a difference because of the fact that they're going to be full-grown trees, way bigger than what a Christmas tree can grow to. So if that's the case, then you're gonna emit a lot of oxygen into the air, and then obviously you're going to be saving the planet, or just kind of putting it on hold, putting all of the global warming on hold. So I just wanted to call this out. It's really interesting, and I appreciate everything that they're doing, and it's kind of contagious. I want to jump in and do something about it. I donated to them, donated like $5. Donated like $5. It's 5 trees. whatever you can really afford, donate to it. That's great. And yeah, you seem tired. Are you tired?
Thanks for pointing that out.
Well, I'm just saying, you just yawned. I'm not saying you look tired. I'm saying you seem tired.
Moving on.
All right, moving on to what?
Netflix.
Mm-hmm. What about them?
I just recently finished watching the, I don't know what it's called, limited series Don't F with Cats. I like that name.
Yes, Don't F with Cats.
Well, this article explains what the whole limited series was about and all that, and then it goes on to say some other things. But if you haven't seen it, it's a 3-part series that they're an hour each, so you got to have 3 hours set aside to watch this whole thing.
It seemed like a long time when I was watching the last episode because I didn't watch the first 2, so I don't know what happened in the beginning, but.
Well, the first episode was about how, the internet loves cat videos or whatever. And, the number one rule of the internet is to don't f with cats, I guess.
So that's where the name came from.
I guess. But, so anyways, these people, I guess, watched this video called One Boy, Two Kittens, which was made in 2010. And I guess they thought it was just going to be a cute cat video or whatever. And then he ends up murdering them pretty much. And it was 2 kittens that he put in one of those bags that you can put the vacuum on and suck the air out.
Yeah.
So after
wait, that's what he did? He just put a bag over their head and
No, he put them in a bag.
Oh. Same thing.
That closes and then you attach the vacuum to it and it sucks the air out. So they die.
Oh.
You mean that's it?
Well, I'm not saying that's it. I'm just saying that seems just horrible to even put a plastic bag over a cat's head and do that. But to do it that way is even worse.
Yeah, so that was in 2010. And then there was this Facebook group started called Find the Kitten Vacuumer for Great Justice. And there was all these people that were involved. And they were trying to find bits and pieces of the video that would point to where this guy lived or who he was or this and that. And then 2011, he makes another video called Bath Time LOL. And he has a cat, I think it's duct tape or clear taped to a broom or something.
Okay.
And then he dunks it in the water until it drowns.
That's just horrible.
Yeah. So then again, they're trying to figure out using clues from the video and stuff like that to see if he's still in the same place he was at when he made the first video, if something changed or whatever. And then I guess a week after he made that video, he made another one called Python Christmas, where I don't know where he got a python from, but apparently he had a snake and then a cat, and the cat or the snake ate the cat or killed it.
What the heck? I mean, I totally missed all these things that happened.
Yeah, I know. So, they are upset that this guy keeps making these videos and they're trying to figure out where he lives. And I guess they finally find that he lives in Canada. And they were trying to warn the Canadian police, look, this guy has been torturing animals. He's been posting it to YouTube. He's out for fame. He's just doing it for attention. We think he's going to go a step further and kill somebody.
Yeah.
And they're all right, whatever. Because this is just a group of people randomly on Facebook.
What made them think that he was going to...
Just the way that well, that's kind of how it goes.
You kill cats and then you kill people? Or you kill
animals
and then you
times,
kill people?
If you're killing them in those weird, sick ways and posting it to the internet several times, you're a weirdo and you're probably going to murder somebody.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I see it. All right.
So that's what they were thinking, and they were trying to warn the Canadian police about it, and they didn't listen. And then he made this video in 2012 called One Lunatic, One Ice Pick, which he it says ice pick, but it was actually I think it was a screwdriver.
I did see that. It was a screwdriver.
It was a screwdriver
painted to be an ice pick or something like that.
So there was this guy like tied to the bed, and then he stabbed him multiple times, and he ended up dying. And then he cut his body up and put it in a suitcase. Well, part of it in a suitcase, and then he mailed his like feet and hands and stuff to like the government.
Why?
Because he's a lunatic.
This is just absolutely crazy. So the only piece that I caught was the fact that he was like, running away. I didn't know that all of this extra stuff happened. Yeah. I thought that he just killed a person, and then they seen like one of his features in the videos, and then they were like, oh, this is him. Let's find him. I didn't know it was this bad.
Yeah.
So why did they make a documentary about this? Like, I feel like they shouldn't be, adding fuel to the fire.
Well,
here.
That's actually you said that, or you saw that at the end of the last video. They said, like, making that whole docuseries as being complicit in the fact that he did all this for fame, and now he's actually getting it because now there's a Netflix series about it.
Well, I mean, if they said he did this all for fame, why did they make?
Yeah, exactly.
So it still doesn't defeat the.
Well, the thing
purpose.
that I found interesting is that this happened in 2010, which was 10 years ago, and I never heard about it. I mean, it was in Canada, but like it was never. I don't know. There was people who were on that there's people on that Facebook group that were from different countries, and they other countries were reporting on it. So I don't know if I just didn't pay attention to it, or if the United States didn't really care about it. But
well, he didn't come here. That's the issue.
Well, yeah, he fled to Paris, then he went to Berlin, which is where he got caught, and then he was trying to say like he wasn't guilty because of some mental health issues or whatever, and that some dude named Manny was the one that was making him make these videos.
Yeah, but then he made up like Manny.
But yeah, that person. Well, they couldn't find, like, they don't have any evidence that Manny person is real. And then apparently, like, that whole video he made killing that guy was based off the movie Basic Instinct, which I never saw before.
Never seen it, yeah.
But apparently a lot of the stuff in that video he made was very similar to that movie. And he was like obsessed with movies as well, I guess. But the good news is he's in jail for the rest of his life.
Well, that's perfect. I just think they shouldn't have made this. I mean, obviously we wouldn't know about it if they didn't, because I didn't know about it, and I wasn't researching it. I didn't really want to research it. It seems like a very difficult thing to handle, very difficult to swallow.
Yeah. Well, and then so towards the end of this article, like, the person who made this article was saying, well, they didn't agree with the name of the series. They made it like
it seemed like it was about cats.
Yeah, which, like, I saw this. I went on Netflix a couple times and I saw that, and I was like, that looks stupid. I don't want to watch that. But then there was a bunch of people saying like, oh, it's really good, you should watch it, this and that. And the person who wrote this article is saying, well, there's an actual person who died. Like, why are we overshadowing the fact that a human being died and calling this series like Don't Fuck with Cats? Like, yeah, it's kind of weird.
I guess they wanted a really good title that would bring everybody in. And I mean,
I don't know, but
it sounds interesting, just saying Don't Fuck with Cats. Well,
the guy, also the guy that he killed, he found on, I think, like Craigslist or something, like a guy seeking guide like thing.
Oh, okay.
And he invited him like over to his house or something. And the really creepy part was, like, after he brought him up to his apartment and killed him and whatever, and I guess disposed of his body and all that, he put his shirt on and was like walking around and like left his building with the other dude's shirt on. Like, for
what reason?
I don't know, because he's nuts.
This guy, I can't handle any more of this. I mean, I'm glad it's only a 3-part series. I mean, 1 hour each. I watched the last one, and I guess that was the easiest to handle, because I wouldn't have been able to handle the first.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
The first one or the second one, I guess. But yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it was interesting just because I'd never heard of it before, and it was like these people, this group on Facebook, like really helped with finding out where this guy lived, because otherwise he probably would have killed more people if they never would have found him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Don't watch it. That's
watch it.
No, I mean, I would say don't watch it because you're adding fuel to the fire.
But it's already there.
Well, I mean,
might as well just watch it now.
It's kind of there. You might as well just throw sand on it and
sand.
Yeah, you throw sand on fire and I think it goes out. Don't quote me on that. It should. So Sony, have you seen this? It kind of caught me by surprise. They were like, Sony made an electric car, and I was just like, what? First of all, how and why? Do you see it up on the screen?
Well, that's pretty cool.
So this is what the car looks like. Now, I'm told that the car is not going to be sold. It's not going to be in production. The only reason why they made it was to show off that they can. So they have all of this tech, a lot of tech on the car. And I first got introduced to it from, I can't think of his name. He's a very big tech YouTuber. But he talked about the car and all the different features it has of it. The big feature that I really like is the actual side view mirrors. They're side view cameras. They're not mirrors. So I don't know how that all works, but it looks really interesting. So they used all of their tech in the car. And
is there a PlayStation in it?
I don't believe so, but that would be cool. So they thought, a lot of people said that they were going to introduce their PS5 at this event. Was it CES? Don't ask me what that stands for. Probably stands for something, but I don't know. CES. But they have all of their different tech in this car, and I thought it was interesting that.
Why the hell are there not? Go scroll down. There's like 9,000 screens in it. Look at that.
They showed off all their tech. That's what I'm saying. Like, they have every single bit of tech that they could possibly get in a car, but that's also distracting you. If you actually built a car like that, that's horrible. Unless it drove itself and you were 100% comfortable with how it drives you, that's just ridiculous. It's way too many screens. You're gonna be watching movies, listening to movies. You can watch 7 movies at one time.
On the way to your death.
On the way to your death, yes. But I thought it was interesting to be able to know that Sony can make a car. They said it gets to 0 to 60 in like 4.6 seconds, which is not.
But would you not be totally annoyed if you worked for Sony and worked on this car?
And they don't like actually.
And they're doing nothing with it? Well, like, I would be like, I'm not making this car.
Well, I'm sure they're going to do something with it.
It's a waste of time.
But yes, it is for some people.
0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, so I was close. 4.5, 4.5, 4.6, 4.5. 4.5 seconds. I said 4.6, so I'm happy with that. I'm only 1/10 off. Good math. But this is interesting, right? To be able to have all of your different tech. Now, I don't know what's going on with the rear view mirror up there. If that's a screen as well, or if that's someone's actual reflection taking a picture. It looks like they might be someone taking a picture. But
it looks like someone eating a potato. Doesn't it?
I mean, they could be eating anything. Why does it have to be a potato?
Well, it looks brown.
Well, I guess. But I thought it was interesting just to see what it looks like and all of the tech that they're using in there. So
it's just so pointless.
It caught me by surprise. Even down here, look at you have the screen in the back. That would be great for Harper to be able to watch Toy Story.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
But a lot of cars have that.
Well, yeah, but
these days
they do. Our cars don't have it. I mean, we can get it installed if we want. But I don't know. It was interesting to be able to see that they made a car. And first, like I said, it caught me by surprise. Sony came out with a car, but it's not being released to the public. It's just to show off their tech and show that they can make a car that looks amazing. I wonder where all the parts came from. Show
how much time they can waste at work.
What?
It shows how much time they can waste while working.
Well, yes. Yeah, that's 100% true.
I'm just saying, what a waste of resources.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. And look,
there's
a picture of like the side view mirror.
Yeah, it's cool, but the fact that it's not actually being made is now I'm irritated.
Well, yeah, and it probably got a lot of other people irritated. They're like, oh, I want to buy this car. But like I said, I want to know where all the parts came from, because I know Sony didn't, bring in all the parts themselves. Yeah, all of the electrical parts, and I understand all of the technology in there. I can understand they brought it themselves, but the actual car parts, doors, hoods, trunks, spoilers, whatever they have.
Made them themselves.
No, they didn't make them themselves.
Why not?
No, it looks like a cross between like a Tesla and a Porsche. If you go up to the top and scroll all the way up, it looks like a cross between a Tesla and a Porsche. Tell me that doesn't have like Porsche-like features.
My first thought was it kind of looked like the brand new Honda Civics.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. It does not look like the brand new Honda Civic.
Yes, it does.
Honda Civics look more boxy. That does not look boxy. It looks a little more rounded, and you have the sport look to it.
Yeah, that's what the Honda Civics look like.
And then to be able to have the actual brake pads red,
dumb.
That's nice. I like it. But I thought it was interesting. Like I said, nothing more than just my curiosity.
And dumb.
Sure, for some people. Maybe you, maybe me as well.
For everybody, because nobody can have it.
Well, one person can have it.
Who?
The person that made it, or
it's probably not even street legal.
It's street legal
with all those tablet or whatever. What is it? Screens?
I don't know. You may be right. You might be right. I'll go with you. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. Don't look like that.
Like Jim from The Office. That's a good show.
It's not.
The Office is a great show. Anyways, let's get into one of your topics so we can stop talking about this.
That would be great. The Australian wildfires.
Oh, yeah.
Have been going on for a while now. This specific article is talking about how there's misinformation about how the fires actually started, I guess. Which I was confused about to begin with. Like, when I first heard about them, I'm like, whoa, I don't even understand where these fires came from. But I do remember a couple days ago seeing an article saying that there's 24 people that have been charged with deliberately setting these fires.
So somebody started the fires?
Well, that's where, like, the debate is. Like, there's some, I guess, news outlets that are saying that this is arson and people started these fires and blah, blah, blah. But in reality, this article is saying that only a handful of them were probably started by arson and that the rest are due to climate change, like lightning hitting areas that are extremely hot and dry, that just goes in flames and just spreads because everything is so dry.
Kind of like The Lion King.
What? Sure.
At the end when...
yeah, I guess.
You don't remember.
I do, but yeah.
I'm saying it's kind of like The Lion King.
Sure,
that's Africa. It's really hot and dry. I'm not saying that this is The Lion King. You know what? Go ahead, continue.
But I guess, like, climate change had to have had a part that played a part in this, but there's these inauthentic Twitter accounts that are, I guess, robots that are trying to shift the narrative and promote, like, the skepticism of climate change by saying that people started them.
Oh, that's stupid. I mean, the world is changing. The climate, like the way that the Earth is starting these fires, I guess. It's completely ridiculous for people to try and hide these things. Like, they're happening. You know, we're losing places that are below sea level. You know, all of these different things that are happening because of climate change, they're happening. Like, I don't know why people would try and hide them. You can't hide them.
Because people think that it's not real.
I started this with a lighter, and now, you know, the whole entire country is, you know, going to be on fire. Like, that's ridiculous. Oh, so I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous, and I mean, the way that they're spreading, from what I've seen, I mean, it's just, it's I don't even know what I would do. I don't know how people are handling this. It looks like, you know, people are, you know, losing their homes. People are losing loved ones. Like this is horrible.
Well, speaking of misinformation, when I first saw the title of this article that says Tokyo Olympic athletes' beds made of strong cardboard, that sounds hilarious, doesn't it?
Yes.
I thought they meant like like what they slept on. Well, I don't know.
Oh, so you meant the mattress?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you
but like it didn't have a mattress at all, and they just were sleeping on cardboard.
Hold up. So they don't have a mattress and they're sleeping on cardboard. You thought that they didn't have a mattress and they're sleeping on cardboard.
No. Nope. I thought, because this says Tokyo Olympic athletes to sleep on beds made of strong cardboard. And I thought that meant that there's nothing but cardboard.
That's what I just said.
I don't know.
So you thought that there was nothing but cardboard, but they have cardboard underneath their mattress. That's the reality. Okay. Understood.
I was just...
That was very misleading.
Well, exactly. I was confused why they would make athletes sleep on cardboard. But I guess the whole point of this article was saying that they're making these bed frames out of cardboard, and they're the first beds that are made from renewable resources. So once the Olympics are over, they're going to be recycled into paper products.
Oh, okay.
And they do have mattresses, and apparently the mattress's firmness can be adjusted in 3 different spots.
Well, are they strong enough to hold people?
They said that it would hold up to like 400 pounds or something like that.
I guess you think about athletes, how...
Yeah, it says they can stand up to 200 kilograms, which is about 440 pounds, and no Olympic athlete weighs that much. So, and it says that they're stronger than wooden beds.
They're stronger than wooden beds? Why don't we use these then? Does it cost more?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it was cost effective, then I would totally understand. Like if it didn't cost too much, like you look at these, they just look weird. They just look like boxes.
That's what I thought.
You literally just have boxes here. I thought that they looked like the wood up here.
Yeah.
So that's actual wood. That's not cardboard.
I don't know.
But the beds are cardboard. I thought that it was the same material. Mm-hmm. This is a little weird though. It just looks like you're sleeping on boxes. I guess they can't afford like regular
No,
beds.
It's not about not affording it. It's about the fact that they're renewable resources and that they can reuse.
Save the planet.
Exactly.
Okay, understood. But it does
because
look
a lot
horrible.
of the stuff that they use for the Olympics, like it's strictly used for the Olympics and then it's never used again.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, couldn't they just bring in beds and and take them out? But I guess
what would they do with them?
I don't know. Maybe they should make the countries bring their own beds, and then give them to, people that need them in the areas that they're doing the Olympics.
Sure, yeah, you could pitch that idea.
I'm not pitching anything.
Okay.
I'm not going to the Olympics. I'm not good enough. I'm okay in golf. I mean, I could probably be the next Tiger Woods or Roy McIlroy.
Nope.
I could, but that's...
Don't quit your day job.
I won't. No, I won't.
Okay.
But I think it's interesting. It just looks weird. Like those are boxes.
Yeah.
You could put a PS4 in there or Xbox and ship it off.
Something.
You sound annoyed. Am I talking about these boxes too much?
Yeah, it was just supposed to be funny because
way too much box talk.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, on to the next thing. So this is interesting, sad, and I think that some people are just stupid. So 2 kids were shot for throwing snowballs.
Shot by who?
Shot by a guy in a car. They threw snowballs at a guy in a car, and they were ages 12 and 13, and they were shot by a driver for throwing snowballs.
So the kids were throwing snowballs at the car, and the person in the car shot them?
I believe they were throwing snowballs at cars. Now, I'm not 100% sure that they were specifically throwing them at cars. They may have been having a snowball fight, and then one hit the car. I don't know exactly what happened because they didn't really go into detail here. But snowballs hit the car, and the guy shot at him. And apparently they responded to 2 different incidents to where a 12 and 13-year-old were shot. Non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. So it's good they didn't die. That's a good thing. But it still doesn't make sense to me that you would resort to shooting a kid for throwing snowballs.
This was in Milwaukee? I thought this would be somewhere in like Philadelphia or something.
No. You need to... It's... Things happen around the world.
Oh, okay.
We just talked about Australia, did we not?
No, I know. I'm just saying this sound like
Oh, it sounds
random
like a Philly
people
thing.
yes, random people shooting kids sounds like something that would happen in Philadelphia.
That's horrible.
Well, tell me I'm wrong.
Don't
worry, I'll wait.
I won't. But I think this is weird. Like, well, it's not weird. It's sad that someone will resort to this, level of aggression. Like, get so mad at a kid that you pull out your gun and you shoot them. A 12 and 13-year-old. I understand that 12 and 13-year-olds do things that are stupid.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't be throwing snowballs at cars because that could really, like, if they got it on, like, their windshield or something and they couldn't see for a couple seconds, that could be dangerous. But that doesn't mean they need to be shot at.
Yes.
They just need to be disciplined.
That's what I meant. Like, you don't need to shoot at somebody because of the fact that they threw snowballs or they did anything, really. If they shot at you, then I understand, but they're not shooting at you. They're throwing snowballs, probably not even at you. It just hit your car by accident. Who knows? So you can't say that kids can't have snowball fights. If it hits a car, then it hits a car. People drive cars everywhere. The world is full of them.
Tell me when you see a whale.
Yeah, exactly. So I like going through this. It just like, I don't know. I just felt horrible because I don't ever want to see something like that. And obviously we have a child, and we don't want that to happen. If she ends up getting into a snowball fight and, she wants to play with her friends and then all of a sudden it hits a car and then the guy gets out and shoots at her, that's going to be horrible. Like I don't know what we would do. So that's what we don't want to happen. And obviously shining light on this is just hopefully going to raise awareness. But
about snowball fights?
About snowball fights, about people that get overly aggressive and shoot or hurt people for no reason at all.
Yeah, sounds like they have anger issues.
Yeah.
I saw this debate. I don't know if it's a debate. Jillian Michaels. Do you know who that is?
That's the workout lady. She
lady.
does the Soda Stream as well, right?
Yeah.
Soda Stream.
Is that what she sounds like? Yeah, she was on the show Biggest Loser. Like, she made people No, like, she was the host. Like, she made the people, like, lose weight.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, she didn't need to lose any weight.
Oh, my God. No.
Soda Stream.
Anyways, so she had an interview with BuzzFeed News. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure how, but somehow the topic of Lizzo came up and about, like, how she promotes, like, body acceptance and body positivity and stuff like that. And I guess now they're saying that Jillian Michaels is being accused of body shaming her. Like, I guess one of the quotes was, "Why are we celebrating her body? Why does it matter? Why aren't we celebrating her music? Because it isn't going to be awesome if she gets diabetes." Which, in my opinion, is true.
Well, yeah, it is true. I like I've said before, I don't understand why the world has become so PC and, everything has to be on par with, being accepted in every single place, whether you have a participation trophy or, whether you're body shaming somebody or whether you're committing a hate crime and doing that. So
I don't think she was specifically saying that, like, her body shouldn't be, like, celebrated. I think she was just saying, like, a person of her weight, like, comes with problems.
Yes.
And that also needs to be brought up as well.
Yeah, I totally understand where she's coming from.
And I guess there was some other person on Twitter that said that the only reason why Lizzo was popular to begin with is because of, like, the whole obesity epidemic in America. And now that everyone's fat, they want to see, like, celebrities that are fat too.
Someone said that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't want to. I mean, I don't know where she came from. Maybe that's why she's, famous. I don't know. But
I mean, her music is good, and Jillian Michaels even said that. She was like, my kids like her music, I like her music, like, she's a good artist, but, like, they're also, and you can be like confident in your own skin and not be, like, stick thin, but at the same time, like, you have to be aware of, like, certain health problems that can arise due to weight.
Yeah.
I just think it came all, like the way she said it, maybe people took it the wrong way, but that just happens all the time now.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to like celebrate diabetes. You don't want to celebrate all of these health problems that they could get, but you're celebrating the fact that she has a certain body shape. Okay, you have a certain body shape. We're celebrating shapes here, but we're kind of not kindergartners. We don't need to like be excited about shapes. Damn cat, Carl, go somewhere. Go.
But so after there was all this backlash about what she said, then Jillian Michaels came back and said, "As I've stated repeatedly, we are all beautiful, worthy, and equally deserving. I also feel strongly that we love ourselves enough to acknowledge that there are serious health consequences that come with obesity, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, to name a few. I would never wish these for anyone, and I would hope we prioritize our health because we love ourselves and our bodies." Like, I think that's like perfect what she said.
Well, the thing is I'm going to say it now. She's going to have to apologize because that's
Jillian Michaels?
Yeah. And it's not because I'm saying that. It's because that's how the world is today. You have to apologize to the people that you hurt, even though it wasn't a direct quote.
It's been days, and that's the only thing that she said.
Well, just think about how long the whole Kevin Hart thing went on for. And yeah, obviously 10 plus years, and he still has to apologize. He still has to apologize to this day. Mm-hmm. So, like, she's going to have to apologize, and it's not going to go away because people just... I don't know.
She has a point, though.
She does. A lot of people do have points, and I usually stand with them. I hate the fact that we live in this world where everybody wants to be accepted, wants to get a participation trophy, wants to call out people for the things that they said, even though they're not harmful at all. So I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Can we talk about the best thing that we could possibly talk about in this world? Do you know what I'm going to get to? Do you know what it is? Mm-hmm. Did you pull it up?
Yeah.
It's Andrew Yang. So just really quick, so I did talk to you about this before, is the fact that they showed the wrong graphic here. So I don't want to play any music here. I think it's going to play something. But they showed the wrong graphic here. So CNBC.
What is this, the thing?
I think it's just a commercial or something.
No, but I'm saying this is the footage that they showed.
I don't think so. I think it's just a commercial and it keeps advertising. I thought it was the actual thing, but I think they took it down. So they showed the wrong graphic, and if you scroll down, I guess Eric Sanchez had a screenshot of the person, and that looks nothing like Andrew Yang. His last name is Yang. I guess it was from their inventory from when they had another person named Yang on there. But they completely botched the picture just because they, wanted to exclude him. And anybody that's an outsider, they don't want to exclude those people in the presidential race just because they don't want them to be president. So they can do whatever they want because they're the news source, right? And a lot of people watch them. So,
well, did Andrew Yang ever say anything like on Twitter or anything about this?
I'm not 100% sure. I know I think he did talk about it, but a lot of other people are talking about it. Most of the people that I watch, I'm watching like all of the Yang supporters, and they're talking about this, and they're talking about Yang. They're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. They put Kristen Gillibrand right here. They put her picture instead of Tulsi Gabbard, but I mean,
that says Gabbard or whatever.
Gabbard. So it was supposed to be Tulsi Gabbard, but they put
Tulsi Gabbard.
But they put Kristen Gillibrand here, and there's no reason to do that. But Andrew Yang is the main talking point here. I mean, he raised $16.5 million, and you can't even get the right picture on the screen.
That's dumb.
You wouldn't do that for Joe Biden. You wouldn't do that for Bernie Sanders. You wouldn't do it for Elizabeth Warren. Why are you doing it for Andrew Yang here?
I feel like somebody who works there did it on purpose.
Well, you think about it. I mean, you look at all of the graphics that MSNBC, not all of the news sources, but news sources mess up because of the fact that, they don't want him in the race. But
that's what I'm saying.
They don't want any attention on him.
Yeah, it seems like somebody's doing this on purpose.
But to tell you the truth, where he got all his attention was from the internet, when he went on Joe Rogan, when he goes on different podcasts and all of this other stuff. So he doesn't really need this stuff. Obviously, you want to be here to be represented, but you also don't want to make people think the people that aren't watching podcasts, you don't want to make them think that you are this person rather than being your actual self.
Yeah.
So I just thought this was funny / disrespectful / why.
How do you, like, I just don't understand how these people have a job.
It's
if they mess up two people on the same.
I think they were told to do this.
Yeah.
These are the two outsiders, basically. The people that try and basically say that or call out, debates, call out the whole entire system. And they're just like, no, we're not going to deal with that. You're not going to gain popularity here, and you're not going to raise $16.5 million. It was a different Yang that raised $16.5 million. So I thought this was just stupid.
Yeah,
absolutely stupid. So I thought I would call it out here just really quick. Didn't want to do a huge debate on it because there's no debate. Mm-hmm. It's the wrong picture.
Who watched the Golden Globes?
Who watched it? I didn't watch it.
I didn't either.
I watched some of the clips though.
Ricky Gervais was the host. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Opener? I don't know. Something. Which I never really thought he was that funny to begin with, but I did watch. There was some video on YouTube that like had his whole monologue, and then all his like little jokes that were like in between him like introducing people or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were pretty funny, but I guess people are calling him out and saying that he was making all these like anti-Hollywood jokes, and there's all this backlash about. And the funny thing that I thought was at the very beginning of his monologue, he was like, remember folks, these are just jokes.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. They're just jokes.
And it's just, that's the thing is like, he is a comedian and they are just jokes. And it doesn't make sense for so many people to be upset about like stupid things like this.
100%. And I said it earlier in the podcast that it doesn't make sense for people to get so upset about the fact that he's saying these jokes when they are jokes. And the fact that he called it out just put icing on the cake.
Right, exactly.
He's saying, hey, these are jokes, remember.
Yeah.
Don't get offended. And people still got offended. So
I mean, yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with the jokes. Like, I thought they were funny.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of them were kind of true.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But there was a tweet that he had tweeted after like all this backlash or whatever. And he said, number one, simply pointing out whether someone is left or right wing isn't winning the argument. I guess people were saying that he was, all of his jokes like were saying that he's right winged or something like that. So I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Yeah.
Then he said, number two, if a joke is good enough, it can be enjoyed by anyone. Number three, it's not all about you. Number four, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right, which that part I agree with the most.
Well, I agree with all of them.
Well, yeah, but that one I think is especially meaningful because just because you're offended by a joke doesn't mean that
the funny thing is people think that they are right, and
right.
Once they get other people to back them, then they become more right and more right and more right. And then if they have an audience behind them, then they're just like, you know what? I have a bunch of people that say that you're wrong, and that's not what I want to hear, because I like the fact that you have these people telling jokes because they're jokes. And even to the point, I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, was the fact that Eddie Murphy was getting backlash for all of his jokes on Raw and Delirious. And
because people have nothing better to do with their time than to be annoyed by something. It's
so sad, and that's why I like Joe Rogan. I was watching some of his stuff, and he was talking about this a little bit, and he was just like, I am happy that he did that.
Yeah.
Because that shows where comedy
there was a bunch of comedians.
Where comedy actually is.
There was a bunch of comedians that were like backing him up and saying like, he's a comedian. What did you expect?
Yeah, exactly. The same thing with like the whole Dave Chappelle special that he had.
Yeah. Dave
Chappelle had that special to where he talked about a bunch of horrible things and called out a bunch of things that people wouldn't normally say. And he was getting a bunch of backlash for it. But you know what? It's good to call him out because he's a comedian. They're jokes. Madam, they're jokes. I'm talking to you.
I was gonna say, don't tell me. I already know.
Madam. No, but it was interesting. I watched it and I laughed a bunch because of the fact that, he's calling out things that are true, but also making jokes about it.
Yeah.
So you can't really take full offense to it. But people, go ahead and take full offense.
Whatever.
Yeah. So I did want to talk about The Quiet Place too. Did you watch the trailer?
No, because I don't even think the first one was that great.
I thought it was good. I mean, it was interesting. I just...
The hell? Scared the shit out of me. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think that the first movie was that great to begin with.
Well, I mean, there were some parts that were just weird and not that great. But I just have a couple of questions about this one. If you didn't see the trailer, then you're not going to be any help here. But how did the first one end again?
The monsters were like in their house about to kill them, and then they magically realized that they don't like the sound of like feedback or something like. Because remember, the one kid had
Oh yeah, a radio or something like that.
No, it was like something in his ear.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I don't know. The monsters were like, they couldn't stand the sound of this feedback or something like that.
And did they do something else after that? Did they get out and go somewhere?
No, no, that was the end of the end of the movie was them like fighting the monsters off.
What happened to the dad character? Did he die?
I don't think any of them died.
Well,
except the kid.
Well, I'm a little weirded out by this because I don't see her actual husband in the first movie in this at all.
Oh.
And it looks like it predates the other one. So it's
this is a prequel?
That's what it looks like.
No, because they have the baby.
What?
That baby is the one that she was pregnant with.
But they're driving with people. Like, are you watching it right now?
Yeah.
So she's driving through and there's a bunch of people running. You would imagine that there would be nobody running if it was already set as The Quiet Place. Like, do you know what I mean? So it has to be...
No, they're saying...
Like all of those people, there wouldn't be all of those people around.
No. Like this is like they defeated the monsters. This is how like I guess the society like reemerged or whatever, and now I guess the monsters are back and they have to go into it's going to be another Quiet Place.
Okay, so it's the same people.
Yeah.
But they're. It just doesn't make sense to me how you can get rid of all of those monsters, whatever they are, and then they have them come back.
I don't know. That's what I gathered from it.
That would be stupid if that's the case. I would like if it was before, and then they basically said how everything took place. Because when it started out where it was already The Quiet Place. When in the first one, it started out where it was already The Quiet Place. Yeah. So it would make sense if this one... they showed how it became The Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was, I don't know, maybe we need to, see it because this is not really telling me what I need to know because I don't see, what is the husband's name? In
John Krasinski?
Yeah, I don't see him in the movie at all. So
yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
If it does,
maybe he did die. I don't know.
Well, if it does predate that, then that means he would be in the movie eventually. If it doesn't, then he must have died. So I don't know, but all I know is it looks like a great movie. I don't even know when it comes out. Does it come out this weekend or something?
Wait, so I was reading through these comments and someone said, of course the sequel title has to be Too Quiet, Too Curious, followed by A Quiet Place, Tokyo Drift. That's funny. Too Quiet, Too Curious.
All right, so March, that's when it comes out.
Oh.
So I mean, we can go ahead to the theater because my birthday's in March. If you want, I'll watch it. I want to see it. Because now I need to know if it's a prequel or if it's No,
then someone else commented said, I think there should be a prequel to the series because we never know why the aliens came and why they're killed. So I'm pretty sure this isn't a prequel.
Okay. All right, well, I still need to see it now because
of course.
Yeah, whatever. So what is this here?
What? Kim Kardashian's fridge?
What about Kim Kardashian's fridge?
Oh my god. Nonsense. Okay, so I follow her on Twitter and
Of course you do.
Instagram,
Of course.
and I think that's it.
Twitter?
Or Snapchat and all that. So she posted this picture of it was like a promotional picture of her in like her new Skims, right there, her new like underwear and bras and all that nonsense.
Okay.
So I follow her on Twitter, and I saw this picture and just kept scrolling, didn't think anything of it, but apparently people are like flabbergasted at the thought of what's in her fridge.
Nothing?
They're like, why does she have so much milk? Because there's like that whole top row that has like milk, I guess. And then there's like those 2 random cups with like the straws and like some looks like lemonade or iced tea or something. And they're saying like, why is your fridge so empty? Like, you have 4 kids. What the hell do you feed them? Blah, 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 blah. And yeah, people got upset at her fridge. So
it kind of makes sense. I mean, you have that much money. Why can't you fill your fridge? But maybe she orders out. Maybe she gets someone to cook their food for them. They bring food every single day and cook their food.
If you scroll down more, she responds. Go down. That fridge that. Oh yeah, it says, I saw a bunch of comments from people wondering how I feed my 4 children, and since you guys are dying to know, here's a little peek inside our main fridge filled with lots of fruits and veggies. So apparently she has like a chef's like walk-in refrigerator.
It looks like she just put that there.
Well, I kind of thought that too.
Yeah,
but
it looks like she went to the store and was like, "Oh, you know what? I messed up. Let me go ahead and put some fresh veggies."
I'm sure she doesn't stock that stuff herself.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have chefs that make all of their meals anyways. But
Lottie Uncle Tom Da.
Exactly. So yeah, I just thought it was ridiculous that people were upset about the fact that her fridge was empty. And then she had to respond by showing them her main fridge.
Yeah, I feel like this is all, like, the whole entire thing is just
hashtag fridge tour. Literally the picture is supposed to be focused on like the bra and underwear and
why is she going in her fridge anyways if
because it's supposed to be
an everyday thing.
Everyday picture.
Everyday picture.
So yeah, but no, I literally saw this on Twitter and just kept scrolling because I was looking at like the bra and the underwear, and I didn't even pay attention to what was going on in the background. Like, people are so weird that they're like, "Ooh, she has milk in her fridge?"
Wait, hold up. You're telling people to focus on her bra and underwear.
That's what the picture is about. It says, the Skims cotton collection restock is available now. Here I'm wearing the cotton plunge bralette and cotton rib briefs. I live in these comfortable pieces. Shop the cotton collection now. So I'm like, oh, okay, that looks cute.
Well, I can understand that, right? But if you didn't see that and I seen it first and I was like, oh, look at her bra and panties over here. You're telling me you would be okay with that rather than me looking into the fridge. Bingo.
You want to look at her fridge?
Bingo.
I'm just saying the general population.
I'm saying as people that are married, don't need to look at stuff like that, right? I don't need to look at her.
You don't need to look at stuff like that?
I don't need to look at her, what is it, the Skims collection. I don't need to look at that. I need to focus on the fridge and say, look, what has she got in that fridge? She ain't got anything in the fridge. Well, then you shouldn't be
following her to begin with if you're not interested in her, her business endeavors.
Maybe her fridge is her business endeavors.
No, I just think people like to point out things that are unnecessary.
True. But some people care.
Care about what?
They care about how, she's feeding her kids if her kids are starving. I mean, that's
do they really think she has 4 kids and doesn't feed them?
Yes.
Are people that dumb?
I mean,
would she be that stupid to post and be like, well, this is all I got in my fridge?
People make mistakes.
Nope.
I don't know. I don't believe it.
Okay.
I feel like Kanye feeds their kids.
He probably doesn't eat. He probably eats air.
He eats air. What does that even mean?
It means that he's original.
He eats Yeezys. Exactly. Why did you whisper?
I don't know.
All right. Well, is that it?
That's all I have.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end this podcast right now. I believe it was the best podcast ever. Could we say that?
Mm-mm.
Number 1 podcast in the world.
What?
I'm definitely leaving that in there.
No.
I am.
Please no.
That was a good sneeze. It wasn't too bad. It was whatever. I'm not gonna comment on your sneezes. But we had a lot of stuff in this podcast. If you missed a lot of it, make sure you go ahead and check our clips channel, and we'll have all of that stuff on there in singular clips so that you can look at every single one and not miss a drop.
Okay.
I don't know why I said drop. I was going to say beat, but I said drop. But make sure you hit the like button on this video. Hit the like button on all of our videos that we post on the Clips channel. We'll have this up Sunday, which is today when you're seeing it. But yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below. Let us know what you think about all of the things we talked about, and we'll see you in the next one.
I'll see you later, or I'll see you another time.